Welcome back to the channel, my YouTube family. How are you doing today? And we're diving back into Redfall today, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion on the game. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and one of the philosophies behind the channel is the fact that I want to make sure that I am helping gamers out and giving honest and frank opinions on various games. We have played so many games on this channel in the last 5 years, and so I've got a pretty good handle on what for me at least personally makes a good game and what maybe needs some work. And today, sadly, Redfall is going to fall into the second category. I think it's important that I get this game review out and give you my opinion of the game, because it's not positive, and I don't like being negative on this channel, but there's a lot of things that you need to know just in case you're thinking of purchasing this game, so you can make an informed decision. Let's do it! So up front, I've got to say that there was a little bit of hype around Redfall from Bethesda, but not a huge amount was being said in it. Personally, I wasn't really that bothered. I didn't really pursue this game like I do with others. It didn't really spark my interest a huge amount. It looked interesting when they were showing some gameplay and some kind of trailers and stuff, but it wasn't one that I had marked on the calendar to play, to be honest. However, it did come up on Game Pass for first day release and access, so I thought, why not, for the benefit of the channel and also for my own curiosity, I thought I would give it a go. But I think it's I need to make it clear, or I feel I need to make it clear that this wasn't a game that I was totally excited about, and like many people were in the community, and so it kind of had my interest a little bit. So I had no real kind of preconceived notion of what this game was about, how it would play, or anything like that. And I think that was a good thing. I think it was a good thing. I enjoyed the first kind of hour of the game, and I do enjoy new games when I'm learning to figure out what's going on. But I've got to say, within a couple of hours of playing this game, some of the kind of very big holes in the game became apparent, and I think this game is very, very underdone. In fact, I'm surprised they've released it in this state. In fact, Bethesda put an embargo on any kind of reporting or any reporting on reviews or gameplay footage or anything before the launch of the game, and I can fully see why, because this game really has a lot of work required to make it even a half decent game. And I think it's important that I tell you that up front, because if you're going to spend your money on it, I would say hold off for now, because the game needs a lot of improvement, and we're going to go through in a reasonable amount of detail why I think that today, and hopefully you can make your own decision based on what I'm about to say. So my main problem with this game is it's just confusing. It's just confusing a lot of the time what you're supposed to be doing, number one. Number two, what many of the things are there for. I mean, the loot system in this game, and there is a lot of loot to be done, but apart from getting points, there really doesn't seem to be any kind of rhyme or reason why you're looting what you're looting. And then beyond that, what happens with it? You pick up all this loot, but nothing seems to happen with it. The food obviously helps your health. If you're low in health, and you regain your health by eating the food and drinks and stuff. But once you get to your full health, there isn't any reason why you're picking stuff up. It's quite confusing. As far as, I like games where the loot actually has some kind of purpose, and this just seems to have little or no purpose to it. outside, getting your health back, or maybe just gaining some points. And I'm not sure if that's XP points, whether that's points to buy items or what. It's all that kind of stuff's not clear. And I mention this because it's indicative of a lot of the issues that I have with this game. It just seems as though it's 80% done in a lot of respects, and there's been limited thought given to the overall kind of big picture of things and how everything fits together. So in the limited trailers that I did see on this game, it kind of showed you that you'd be in combat, you got the feeling that you'd be in combat on a fairly regular basis. And as you see by the footage that we're showing right now, I've been walking for a couple of minutes and really not come across very much at all. And that's one of the other things, that the map just feels empty. There's a lot of kind of empty space around the place, and you've got those red clouds of doom that will hurt you, but they're easily avoidable. And getting from place A to place B, there's a long distance between places, and there just seems to be a lot of the time nothing going on. More of a walking simulator. And I'm not sure why that is. I'd expect as I'm walking around to encounter much more enemies than I currently am. And that's a little disappointing. I like something that keeps my interest. And you can see as well, you pick up all these different weapons, and all of a sudden, I think from the very start of the game I got a gold weapon, and I'm like, that's kind of strange, because why would the game give me a gold weapon straight at the bottom? I'm assuming that the gold weapon is the top tier weapons, and there seems to be very little progression in that. You're just getting given top tier guns straight off the bat without earning it, without starting at the bottom, what like a lot of games do, with your common weapons and working your way up, and as your character gets stronger you get better and better weapons. There's none of that, and I don't understand why that would be. You get lots and lots of different weapons, and they just sit there and accumulate. You're going to make a decision on whether you want to keep them or not, and you're just getting access to those weapons far too easily. There's no sense of accomplishing anything. You're basically just picking them up, which is very, very disappointing. The thing that is very annoying is when you do pick up a new weapon, it auto selects it and puts it into your inventory. You might have a loadout that you're happy with, and you want to keep those weapons in your inventory, and have a look at the weapon you've picked up and make a decision on whether you want to add it to your loadout or not. And that means basically you pick up a weapon, then you've got to stop, go onto your menu, look at that weapon, make a decision whether you want to keep it in your loadout. If you don't, you have to change it, and then you get on with the game, which it should be the other way around in my opinion. So it's just wasting time for no reason whatsoever. I can't swap weapons at the moment unless I stop what I'm doing and stand still and then press the Y button. It's another annoyance that I have. And this is really a problem, given that if you're in deep combat and you need to swap weapons quickly, you have to actually stop what you're doing, which makes you vulnerable to all kinds of stuff. The mechanics of strafing and getting on target quickly, and the sensitivity of, I'm using controls, so obviously I'm playing on Xbox. There's not a lot of options to get your aim on point and get the sensitivity you like. I've been playing around with all kinds of settings and I still haven't got the perfect settings yet, but there's very few options as well for you to play around with, which is a bit frustrating. It's just like you're either strafing at 100 miles an hour, or you feel like you're strafing in quicksand. So again, the mechanics of what is a shooter to some degree they're a bit muddy. You need some improvement there. You're seeing here I die in this situation, and then for some reason, because I unlocked a safe house, before I got into combat, it'll just drop me into safe house. Where in my eyes, if I've died, I should be put back somewhere and have to earn actually entering the safe house. It's a very, very strange. That's happened to me a couple of times now. And there's just so many things about this game that you wonder whether they actually done any playtesting on this game at all, because I'm sure if gamers had got involved in the development process, they would have identified many of the things that happen in this game that need refining. And I think that's all it is with a lot of these things, that they just need a little bit refining. If you've seen the playthrough that I did, the playthrough when I first played the game, you'll see something that kind of highlights how much refinement is needed, and that was when I made it to the fire station. If you haven't seen that playthrough, go and watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. But when I made it to the fire station, and I free a few people in the fire station, then it opens all these kind of buying options up for you, whether that be medical or weapons or whatever. Given that that's the first time that you've seen these shops, I'll call them shops for now, you'd expect you'd be able to buy something, and I couldn't buy a thing. None of the shops, I didn't have enough credits, which is just, I don't understand that. I don't understand why you would do that in a game. Allow a player to open up something and then not be able to use it. It's really strange. And even though I did open those shops and I couldn't buy anything, the options for buying things is there's one or two items in the shops, and I couldn't sell anything. I've got to break things down to be able to get points to buy things. It's all a very, very strange system that they've come up with as far as that goes, and it just highlights what, there are just so many holes in this game. Do I think it's a bad game? I think there's a very good foundation there and a very interesting, like, the gameplay is not bad. I don't mind the gameplay. The gameplay, actually, once you get into it, it does immerse you, and it is a little bit challenging, but you can't go past the glaring holes in this game. And I don't like giving a review like this. I don't like being negative, but I think it's important and that I do give this review, because that's part of the philosophy of this channel, is to help gamers make informed decisions with giving honest feedback. And I love Bethesda games. I know this is Arkane Austin, but I love Bethesda games. I'm a big fan of them, but this one just is way off the mark. Again, with the missions, it's not clear with the missions a lot of the time what you're supposed to be doing, and then when you finish them, or at least you get some progress on the mission, it's not always clear what the next steps are in the process. Even when you finish a mission, you finally get the pop-up screen. But again, it's just, there are just so many holes in this game, and I think it's probably, I'm not going to keep harping on and on and on about this, because I think you get the idea now. I think they need to do a lot of work, and I don't think this should have been released when it was, because it's way underdone for a AAA title. I mean, it's ridiculous, to be honest. I've got to be very honest and very frank about it. So my advice is, maybe watch some more footage, see what you think, watch some reviews on it, and maybe hold off and wait and see what they do in the development of this game. I just think it's just straight away you get the sense that there's just been a 50% effort on this game, which I'm sure is not true, but that's the way it feels when you play it. Okay guys, that's going to do it for today. Sorry that it's a very negative kind of review. I haven't done a review this negative for a long time, and but I think it's just important that I give you what I think, and you can make a decision based on it. Okay guys, thanks for the support as ever. I hope you're enjoying what's happening on the channel. If you are, a like rating is always appreciated. I love reading your comments, and I think you guys are awesome, and I love You give me ideas all the time. You give me tips and tricks and all kinds of stuff. So I love you for that. Take care, and we'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya.